Now, today the topic we will be speaking on, it's a very important one. It's going to be about whiplash. Technically, this is a hyperflexion extension injury of the neck and upper back. A condition when the head and neck whip forward and backward violently or side to side violently or both. Now, most of our listening audience have probably experienced this condition in one way, shape, or form at some point in time in their life. Now, some of the causes of whiplash is going to be whiplash caused by an automobile accident. This is when somebody, is at a stop and they're hit from the rear end or from the side, and their body is propelled forward and then backward, and thus causing the head and neck to propel or whip forward and backward. This is where the lay term whiplash comes from. Now, obviously, in this kind of a whiplash injury to your neck, it's obviously going to cause some pain in the neck, headaches, pain down the arms, pain in the upper back. That's common. But what's important to understand here, and I don't think a lot of people think about this, because they focus in on auto accidents as the main cause of whiplash, but there's many other forms of causes for whiplash, and people need to be apprised of those, and that's what I'm going to talk about right now. Now, injury to the neck and upper back can be caused from a whiplash. It can be caused from many different sources. One is just an auto accident. Two is sports injuries. Now, these sports injuries can affect adults, of course, but also many of us have kids in intramural sports, and this is an important thing to understand, is that kids can be injured in sporting activities such as football, soccer, basketball. Even a child on a playground who is pushed from behind can suffer a whiplash injury. So it's important for all the parents out there that are listening to this who have children who play sports to understand and to listen to your children. If they come home and they're complaining of neck pain or headaches, or they're complaining of back pain or shoulder pain or pain down their arms, that's real. Otherwise, they wouldn't be mentioning it. And that has to do with a problem with their neck or back, and it should be looked at by a chiropractic physician. We do this all the time in our office at Sunrise Chiropractic Center. Now, one of the symptoms that I want to talk about that a lot of people don't relate to whiplash injuries is the multiple symptoms of dizziness, fatigue, the feeling of being tired after an auto accident, short-term memory loss, nausea, feeling sick to your stomach, irritability, even ringing in the ears, and sleep problems are all related to whiplash injuries. Now, these symptoms that I just mentioned here are all symptoms of a bigger picture of what can be determined to be a mild concussion. Now, this is a concussion that happens without impact to the head. Just the force of your head being snapped forward and back in an automobile accident can cause bruising of the brain.
We have a telephone call.
Doctor, she's saying she's never been in a car accident, but she has a problem in her neck, and she's asking if it's possible. Maybe she had sitting work. She was some kind of designer, and she was working, and all tensions on her shoulder and the neck and the head, it was causing that. Is it possible for this or no?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Is it possible for her to have suffered a whiplash injury due to that occupation? No. What she's dealing with is a work-related repetitive strain injury. What I want to say to the caller, though, is in that kind of occupation, there is a lot of stress that builds up over time in the upper back and shoulder areas and the neck area, and that can cause the muscles to tighten up, which can cause restriction of the vertebrae in scia and in the upper spina area to move properly. And if they become stuck, they will inflame, and that will cause pain and further muscle spasm and pain that can radiate down into the shoulder areas, which is what she's talking about. Yeah, what I'd suggest to her is to just come in and consult with somebody. I mean, we can have her come into our office, and I can do a consultation with her and just to see what the history of her work area was and what kind of work she did. And that will usually get us down to what's causing the pain in her neck and shoulder area.
Can headache be associated with neck vertebrae pain?
Well, yeah,
Excuse me, yeah. And we have a telephone call.
Go ahead.
Добрый день, слушаем. Доброе утро, слушаем вас.
2 weeks ago, our radio radio listener, she got in a car accident, and she has a neck and upper back pain. What she needs to do?
Well, most of the time when people get into these accidents, and they're not, I mean, listen, these accidents are most often not life-threatening accidents, but they do threaten the quality of a person's health if not treated properly. Oftentimes these people go into an urgent care area or center, and they're diagnosed with a very minimal sprain or strain, and they're given medication. They're told that they'll be fine in a week or two, and the problem is that they're not fine, and the problem is that they need to be diagnosed properly, and that's what we do in chiropractic very efficiently. And our treatment programs are extremely efficient and extremely productive in bringing people back to pre-injury status. The point is that these injuries, although they're not serious, they will, if gone untreated, they will, on a more probable not basis, cause long-term effects down the road, years down the road. And we see this all the time in our practice when we take x-rays of people.
What should I do right now?
Well, my advice would be is to come into a chiropractic clinic near you. If we're convenient, we'd be more than willing to help you. The biggest thing is to come in, talk to the doctor, explain to him the accident, how it happened, explain to him what your symptoms are, and what treatment, if any, you have had so far. And then what he would probably do is proceed to an examination, which that will bring out evidence of any injuries you may have suffered in that accident. That is what I would recommend anybody do that's been in an accident like the one you've been in. The point is with headaches can be caused by multiple sources. And that's part of what a chiropractic physician can do is he can, through his examination and his consultation, his history, he can narrow down what is causing your headaches, because the cause of your pain is what's most important. That's what we do at our office at Sunrise Chiropractic Center is we acknowledge your pain, whatever it is, but we want to try and find the cause of your pain. Because until you remove the cause of the pain is simply just going to come back. So no matter how many medications you take, that's not going to treat or cure or solve or correct the problem causing your pain, whether it's headaches or low back pain or arm pain. You have to get at the source. You have to get at the cause. Now, there's one last subject I want to talk about involving whiplash injuries, and this is most of the time involving an automobile accident, depending on the severity of that accident. And that is when somebody has been in an automobile accident and suffered injuries to Shea, to their neck, and they are now experiencing pain and numbness down their arm, left or right or both, into their hands. And if they're experiencing any loss of muscle strength in either arm or either hand, those are red flags. Those are signs of a more serious underlying problem with their intervertebral disc, the cushion between your bones. Now, those symptoms are more serious, and they're determined to be radicular or neurological symptoms, and the proper referral for that would be to have an MRI of the neck or Shea done to see if, in fact, the cushion or the disc between the vertebrae has bulged or herniated, affecting the nerves that go down the arms, because the nerves that supply your arms come from your neck.
There is a text question. She said recently she got in a car accident, mild accident. It was 7 miles when she got in a car accident. But what she's suffering, it's a headache.
Da.
pinch, headache.
Yes, that's another subject that often gets overlooked in the medical profession. That is low impact automobile accidents. The fact of the matter is that yes, you can be injured in a low impact automobile accident, and the reason is the time the incident happens so quickly that the muscles in your neck and back don't have time to react to protect your neck and spine, and so therefore you suffer some form of injury. Although mild or moderate, it's not severe, but injury has been attained by this accident, and you should be evaluated and examined to see just what the extent of the injuries are, and put on a treatment program that will bring you back to pre-injury status. As simple as that.